December 18th, 2022. The biggest stage on Earth. 80,000 people, screaming one single name. A man lifts the World Cup into the sky, the one trophy that haunted him his whole life. But here's what almost no one in that stadium knew. 30 years earlier, doctors looked at this exact man, back when he was a tiny, sick little boy, and said he would never even grow taller than a 10-year-old. So how does a kid who was too small to play end up holding the most famous trophy in the world? To understand that, we have to go all the way back, to a small house in Argentina, and a boy who just wanted to grow. June 24th, 1987, Rosario, Argentina. A quiet, working-class family. His dad Jorge works long shifts in a steel factory. His mom Celia cleans to help make ends meet, and their fourth child is a shy little boy named Lionel. From the moment he can walk, there's only one thing he loves: the ball. He takes it everywhere. His grandmother is the one who believes first, dragging him to play with kids twice his size, and on that field, something is strange. This boy is the smallest one out there, by far, but when the ball reaches his feet, the bigger boys simply can't get it back. He glides past them like they're standing still. He joins a local club, Newell's Old Boys. His youth team is so unstoppable they get a nickname, the Machine of 87. At halftime of grown-up games, crowds beg the little number 10 to come out and juggle just to watch. He's becoming a local legend at 10 years old. And then, something goes wrong. The other boys keep growing. Lionel doesn't. Month after month, he stays the same size. His parents start to worry, so they take him to a doctor, and after more than a year of tests, in 1999, an 11-year-old boy sits in a cold office and hears words that could end his dream. Growth hormone deficiency. His body isn't producing what it needs to grow. Without treatment, he'll likely never grow past 4'7". For a kid who dreams of football, it's a death sentence. But there is a treatment, a daily injection of growth hormone into his own legs every single night. There's just one problem. It costs around $900 a month. For a steelworker's family in Argentina, that number is almost impossible. But Jorge looks at his son and decides he'll find a way. So every night, this little boy does something most grown adults couldn't. He injects himself. One leg one night, the other the next. No fear, no drama. He just does it. One night becomes 1 year. In total, this child will take around 1,400 injections. 1,400. All to keep chasing a dream the world keeps calling impossible. His club Newell's promises to help pay, but the payments soon dry up. They turn to the biggest club nearby, River Plate. River wants his talent, but won't cover the medical bills. He's too small, too young, too expensive a gamble. And then, the worst timing. Argentina slides into one of the worst economic collapses in its history. The money for the injections is running out. Fast. The clock is ticking on his body and on his dream. With every door in Argentina closing, the family makes one last, desperate gamble. A club halfway across the world. A 13-year-old and his father get on a plane, leaving everything they know for one trial, one chance. September 2000. He walks onto the Barcelona pitch, the smallest boy there, again. The coaches are skeptical. And then, the ball rolls to his feet. And within minutes, a director named Carles Rexach knows. This is the best young player he's ever seen. They cannot let this boy leave. But the club hesitates. Over his age, over those expensive injections. Weeks pass. Jorge gets frustrated and says, "If this isn't sorted, we're leaving." So Rexach, terrified of losing him, grabs the only thing nearby, a paper napkin, and writes a contract by hand. A napkin. The most famous contract in football history was scribbled on a napkin. And just like that, Barcelona agrees to pay for everything. The move, the treatment, all of it. The boy who couldn't grow is going to Barcelona. But it doesn't feel like a dream at first. He's 13, thousands of miles from home, and barely speaks. He's so shy his new teammates think he's mute. He's homesick. He gets injured early on. And he misses Argentina with everything in him. But slowly, two things happen. The treatment works. He finally starts to grow. And on the field, that quiet boy turns into something terrifying. Every level they put him on, he destroys. He's not just keeping up anymore. He's better than players years older than him. October 16th, 2004. 17 years old. The boy doctors said would never grow walks out for Barcelona's first team. A few months later, the superstar Ronaldinho lobs a perfect pass over the keeper, and the little Argentine taps it home. His first goal for Barcelona. Ronaldinho lifts him onto his shoulders, and everyone watching understands. A monster has arrived. What comes next breaks football itself. He turns defenders into highlight reels. He wins the world's best player award 4 years in a row, something no one had ever done. In a single year, 2012, he scores 91 goals. 91. He wins everything there is to win with Barcelona, over and over. The tiny boy from Rosario is now the greatest alive. He has it all, except the one thing he wants most, the World Cup. And that is where his story turns into heartbreak. 2014, the World Cup final. Argentina, 90 minutes from glory. They lose. He walks past the trophy, so close he could touch it, and he can't even look at it. Then he loses a final the next year, and the year after that, he misses a penalty in another final, and loses again. 3 finals in 3 years, all lost. The whole country turns on him. They say he'll never be a true legend without it. And the man who took 1,400 injections as a child breaks. He announces he's quitting the national team. The dream looks dead. Again. But quitting was never who he was. He comes back. Older now. And in 2022, in Qatar, he gets one final shot. At 35, almost certainly his last World Cup ever. And this time, he is unstoppable. He carries Argentina through the whole tournament on his back, all the way to the final, against France. And it becomes maybe the greatest final ever played. He scores. France fights back. It goes to a penalty shootout, the cruelest way to win or lose. Ball after ball, a save, and it all comes down to the very last kick. And when that last kick hits the net, Argentina are champions of the world. Lionel Messi, finally, lifts the World Cup. That moment from the very start of this video, that's this moment. The boy doctors said was too small. The kid whose family couldn't afford for him to grow. The 13-year-old who flew across the world on a napkin's promise. Standing on top of the entire planet. He'd go on to win a record 8 World Best Awards, more than anyone in history. But here's the part that matters. It didn't happen because he was the biggest, or the strongest, or the luckiest. It happened because a small, sick boy refused to quit on a dream everyone told him to give up on. So next time someone says you're too small, too young, or too far behind, remember the boy who was too small to play, and became the greatest of all time. If this gave you chills, hit like and subscribe. Next, I'm telling the story of another player who came from nothing and shocked the world. Comment the name of the player you want me to draw next. I'll see you there.